Gen X controls $15.2 trillion in spending power. So why do they still wake up at 3 a.m.? Worried about money? You're 52. You make solid money. You own a house. Your 401k isn't empty. Yet every single month, you still feel like you're one bad quarter, one medical bill, or one college tuition statement away from ruin. That feeling? It's not just you. It's Gen X, the most overlooked, most powerful, and most psychologically scarred generation in America right now. In 2025 to 2026, Gen X is projected to drive $15.2 trillion in global consumer spending. If they were their own country, they'd be the world's second largest economy, bigger than China's entire consumer market. They outspend millennials by hundreds of billions and account for nearly 1/3 of all U.S. retail dollars, even though they're only 19% of the population. So why does the generation with the biggest wallet in history still feel broke? The promise that got shattered. Let's rewind to 1983. You're 10 years old. Your dad takes you to the bank on a Friday afternoon. He hands the teller his paycheck from the same company he's worked at for 15 years. The teller knows his name. He has a pension, a savings account that actually pays interest, a mortgage that's on track to be paid off right on schedule. Work hard, save, retire comfortably, he tells you. The formula works. Now fast forward to 2008. You're 35, married, with kids, doing everything exactly as promised. Then the crash hits. Your 401k gets sliced in half overnight. Your house is suddenly underwater. The stable company you trusted starts handing out pink slips to people who had been there 20 plus years. The formula didn't just break, it lied. That single betrayal rewired Gen X's entire relationship with money. Psychologists call it defensive pessimism, the habit of always assuming the worst so you're never caught off guard. It's exhausting, but it's exactly why they're still standing. Real people, real squeeze. Meet Sarah Thompson, 52 marketing manager outside Chicago. Her mom had a stroke last year. Medicare doesn't cover the full in-home care, so Sarah chips in $1,800 a month. At the same time, her daughter started at the University of Illinois, $28,000 a year. Sarah and her husband make $135,000 combined, but they've had to drop their 401k contributions from 15% down to 6%. I feel rich on paper, Sarah says, but I check the bank account every Friday like I'm still 25 and living paycheck to paycheck. Or take Mike Rodriguez, 48, IT supervisor in Dallas. He watched his own father lose his pension when the steel plant shut down in the 90s. Today, Mike keeps his full-time corporate job with benefits, but quietly flips 3 houses a year on the weekends, clearing an extra $42,000 last year. Every penny goes straight into a high-yield savings account and extra mortgage payments. I saw too many 50-year-olds get walked out with a cardboard box, he says. Never again will I have only one income source. This is the sandwich generation reality. Gen X is simultaneously raising, or helping, adult children and caring for aging boomer parents, all while staring down their own retirement cliff. The unique Gen X money psychology. That 1983 to 2008 whiplash created 5 very specific behaviors no other generation shares. They save like pessimists, but spend like realists. Gen X still contributes at some of the highest 401k rates in the country, around 15% including matches, yet the average balance sits between $103,000 and $222,000, hundreds of thousands short of the $1.1 to $1.46 million most say they need. They prepare for disaster even when the numbers look okay. Side hustles aren't passion projects, they're escape hatches. They lead the country in self-employment and secondary income, but almost none quit their day job. The Etsy shop, consulting gig, or weekend house flipping isn't about living your best life. It's insurance against the next layoff. They buy experiences, not stuff. They'll drop serious cash on family vacations, concerts, and live events because they learned the hard way. Houses can go underwater. Cars depreciate. But the memory of taking your kids to a Pearl Jam show or a Disney trip with your aging parents, no bank can repossess that. They're loyal to people and brands, never to institutions. They'll quit a Fortune 500 company with zero guilt, but they'll still drive across town for the diner where the waitress knows their order and buy the same Levi's they wore in high school. Institutions betrayed them. Trusted people and products didn't. They treat debt like a loaded gun. They'll carry a big mortgage because it's predictable and the asset, hopefully, appreciates. But they hate credit card balances with a passion. They watched the consumer debt explosion of the 80s and 90s destroy their parents, then lived through 2008. Good debt gets leveraged. Bad debt gets avoided at all costs. And yes, a surprising number still keep paper files in a fireproof safe at home. They built the internet, but they also remember when databases crashed and digital promises disappeared. The real lesson Gen X is teaching all of us. Gen X isn't broken or contradictory. They're adapted. They grew up believing the system rewarded hard work and loyalty. Then they watched that system change the rules mid-game. So they stopped trusting it, but they never stopped playing. Here are the 5 money lessons every American, no matter your age, should steal from Gen X right now. 1. Assume the best case scenario is a lie. Build your finances like the worst case is coming. Defensive pessimism isn't negativity, it's armor. 2. Never depend on one income source. Your side hustle doesn't have to be glamorous. It just has to exist. 3. Buy memories, not possessions. Experiences survive market crashes. Stuff doesn't. 4. Control your debt instead of letting it control you. Borrow for assets with predictable payoffs. Avoid borrowing for things that depreciate the second you buy them. 5. Keep a plan B you can touch. Digital is convenient. Paper or a fireproof box is peace of mind. If you're Gen X reading this, you're not failing. You're the generation quietly keeping the American economy running while carrying the heaviest load in history. The anxiety you feel isn't weakness. It's wisdom earned the hard way. If you're younger, millennial or Gen Z, watch how Gen X operates. Their mix of paranoia and persistence might be the exact skill set you need in the uncertain decades ahead. Drop a comment below. Are you Gen X? What's the biggest money lesson 2008 taught you? Or what sandwich generation pressure are you feeling right now? If you want more no-fluff breakdowns of how different generations actually think about money, real psychology, real numbers, zero hype, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your money habits aren't random. They're the direct result of the economy that raised you. Understanding that is the first step to finally taking control.